All right, y'all. We got a very special guest. We got my guy, Provoked. Thank you for coming on IndieASF, our new podcast that we're doing, powered by LRG.
Hell yeah. I'm happy to be here.
Heck yeah. So what makes you IndieASF? You are the definition of an IndieASF journey. Tell me about it.
Man, since I was young, I think I started like recording and putting stuff out there on my during MySpace days. So I was about 16 years old. So it all started there.
Right.
And then from there, I kind of started doing shows in backyards. So I would hit up people who were like following me at the time. And then I would pay them like a couple $100 to do shows in their backyards. And then we would do a bunch of different areas from like the IE to the OC to the San Fernando Valley to the AV, all over the place. So it all started like that, really, and I just connected with hella dope people on the way and just kept it going.
Yes, and you know what? The indie journey isn't always like the easy route. So I always like admire those who like decide to take that and continue to just do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Going back to the, starting off when you were 15 years old, you started popping off on MySpace. How was that? Just like being able to go viral so fast, and then, you know what I mean? Just being at like, an early teenager and having like all this success.
It was a different time. So like back then, not too many people had music videos out on YouTube and stuff like that, right? So I remember when I was a senior in high school when I dropped my first video with the homies. And it was a big deal. So everyone was like, oh, he has a music video on YouTube. Like he made it, or, that type of perception. So I started getting a lot of attention from like the graffiti community, as well as with like the girls. We were young.
Okay, yeah.
So I definitely indulged in the attention. I loved it all, and I enjoyed it. And I was young, so I wasn't too business minded. So if anything, I was more on that side of the spectrum than the let's turn it into a business.
Yeah.
So it's more for fun, without me understanding like or having insight on what I could make it become. Yeah.
Right. But I think that's like the cool part within your journey, like you started so young, and it's just cool to just see you just maturing. Like I feel like we all kind of like grew up with you, in some sense, and just being able to look back at some of the beginning videos, you stealing apples, just being like a teenager at this point to the mature adult that you are right now. It's great to see. I love the story that you told Lush One about how your house got like raided at like 17, and your parents were just like, no go. We're putting like alarm systems so that you can't go outside like that. But you were still just doing you. Talk about the support that your parents have given you, throughout your life.
With music, I didn't really get it. And like early on, they wanted me to do the usual, go to school, get a job type of thing. So there was definitely a lot of pushback with that at that time frame. And then, you know what's hilarious? I'll just throw it out there too. When I started stepping away from music, my parents were like super contradict. Like with me, they always take the opposite end. So when I started like pulling back from music, they're like, "Why you stop making music? Like why are you like you build all this up? Like what you went through all this trouble and you're just because there was a time when I was like, yo, I'm done with the music. Like
what age were you when you kind of decided that?
Like 2008, maybe 2019-ish.
Okay,
it's when I was like, man, fuck this, and then I started dropping a song probably like once a year whenever I had the like urge to, on some random fun stuff. So yeah, I remember them getting on my back when I stopped, but they were on my back when I was doing it too in the beginning years. So that's funny.
So when you stopped doing that, were you trying to focus more so on like graffitiing, or were you just actually just trying to figure out what you wanted to do within your life at that time?
I just wasn't making as much income as I wanted to doing the music thing solely, you feel me? So I started kind of tapping into other avenues where I would be able to, make money quicker, more money type stuff. So my mind went really towards the finances at one point and less towards the fun and artistry. Yeah.
And like, you started music strictly like ego driven, right?
100%.
Just because you knew that you were getting a lot of attention from it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you began to find the passion within it? Like once starting from the ego, like how did, I guess, it transpire into the passion of it all?
Well, it gave me a great outlet to, I've always been a competitive fuck since a little kid, like whether it be in the graffiti world, whether it be about catching fades and losing a fight or winning a fight, whether it be about anything. Like it's subconsciously sometimes too, because I used to always play nonchalant, like things wouldn't matter to me. But deep-rooted competitiveness is definitely always lingering in the mind for me. So I think when I started kind of using music as an outlet to express myself and talk as much shit as I can that I can't on a day-to-day basis, I was like, this is fun as fuck. Let me keep talking my shit. Because my pen would fly. I write songs in like 20 minutes. Like my pen flies. So it just came natural and easy. And I was just like, yo. So, and don't get me wrong though, because like in the midst of this shit talking stuff, there's definitely like heartbreaks or situations I went through. So I also enjoy that. It gave me an outlet to do that. So I think it was more of I felt the how do I say this? The comfort in it, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. How were you channeling that within graffiti? What's the difference between you channeling within like writing your lyricism versus like you actually doing art and graffitiing and stuff?
You know what? I think it's more, there's a lot of similarities actually, more than differences, I would say, besides the craft. Because for me, it was like graffiti is like, if you're competing with another crew and they're getting more up than your crew, and it gives you the drive to kind of go and, you know, cap them or do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Same with music, you know, imagine like hypothetically speaking, if you're a rapper and then you got a little bit of tension with another rapper and you see this rapper popping off a little bit or something, like the competitive edge might make you want to drop more songs because you're like, fuck this fool, you know?
Right.
So a lot of, like I said, a lot of my nature comes from like being competitive, even though I denied it for a long time. Yeah, so I feel like there's similarities in that. It's hip hop, you feel me? It's like breakdancing. You breakdance, you see some fool bust some moves, you're like, fuck this fool, I'm gonna top his moves.
Did you ever like jump into breakdancing, by the way? Can you dance?
I can't. When I'm drunk, I could dance salsa and bachata and shit. When I'm sober, I could do it very badly. But yeah, no, I can't. I'm not much of a dancer.
Okay, so give me like one of your craziest like tagging stories.
I have a lot. Like
have you been caught by the cops? Like, give me like.
I've been stuck on billboards before because a cop was getting tacos at a taco stand, and next to the billboard I was at, so I was stuck up there for like 30 to 45 minutes, or maybe it wasn't even that long. It just felt that long. I've jumped in backyards hiding from the cops and had people come out with guns. Like one time, like a guy come out with a shotgun because I'm in his backyard hiding from the cops. So I've had a bunch, honestly, fights or being with my parents and running into like enemies or beef or whatever.
Yeah.
So stupid. Little shit like that, you know? So there's a lot. There's so many but one that you brought up already, like getting my pad raided, seeing the reaction from my parents when it happened, shit like that. That's
and
always
then sneaking
memorable.
out the very next day.
Yes, that was retarded.
And then sneaking out the next day.
Yeah, that was dumb. that was dumb as hell, honestly. Like, if I was my pops, I would have beat the shit out of me. For sure.
Now, shout out to your parents. Talk a little bit about Eighth Kind and Freddie G kind of being like the start to your music journey.
Yeah, so that's I used to skate at some parking lot structure. It was Mervin's at the time. Now it's Cole's in Sun Valley.
Okay.
So I would skate there and we would freestyle. And then one day he was there and he's like, yo, like I make music, like peep this out. And he let me hear himself on a song. And I was mind blown. I was like, wait, this is you? Like, oh shit. And I was like, this is dope, but fuck yeah. And he saw me freestyling. So he's like, hey bro, like pull up to the spot and record something. I think they were using like an Xbox mic or something like that.
Oh shoot. So like that. Okay.
The guy his name was Jonathan, the guy that was recording us. And then so shout out to homie for introducing me to that whole like mechanism. You feel me? Like the recording and all that. Shout out Eighth Kind. That's the homie.
Okay, and then the Sun Valley artists, like you've been in Sun Valley. Are you still in Sun Valley?
No, I'm in the Valley again, but I moved out of Sun Valley like when I was 18. So I turned 18.
Who, I guess were some bigger artists that came out of Sun Valley too?
There was, at the time in the Valley, MC Germ was a rapper that was popping. Okay. He's dope. He had a lot of dope songs. What If I Blow Up? Bump that one. That one's hard. But MC Germ, Severe.
Okay.
Who Severe is Baby Franco now, or Franco changed his name a lot of times. So you gotta stop doing that, dog. And then there was a guy named Young Fame. It was like a little collective of people that they're all homies that were doing it at the time. That at the time when I was like 15 or something, maybe even 14, I was like, yo, like I want to make music like that. How the fuck are they recording and putting it out there? So.
And then MySpace was like literally like the only platform at that time, right? To even just get anything out.
Yeah, the whole music player thing for sure.
Wow. Yeah. Throwback. It's just crazy to see how just social media has became like what it is right now. You know what I mean? Especially for independent artists, it's so much more easier just to just make it out here. And you do such a good job at it. Like, you're so consistent with posting. You like keep engagement with your fan base.
I just started. November is when I kind of came back to making music, but before that I was horrible. I was like going MIA on the gram and stuff. But now it's like we got CapCut. So it's like we can edit our own videos.
We almost lost CapCut though, but it's back.
Bro, I was stressing. I was like, yo.
For real.
I was like, you got me fucked up. I barely like got, I feel like sometimes I'm like a grandpa getting on Facebook type shit. Like I'm still learning all this shit. So when I got on CapCut, it took me a minute to learn it. And then once I learned it, they took it away. I was pissed. I was like, what the hell? I just learned how to a bunch of shit.
Yeah, just like do the edits and stuff like that. But what made you want to like come back and like actually start engaging on social media? I know it's beneficial, but like it can be stressful and a little draining, you know, when you're not even trying to do all of that.
It could be when you're in a frustrated state. So like I feel like when I took a step back, it was more I was frustrated about my finances and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I feel like once I soothed that frustration, I kind of started feeling like something was missing because everything was going good on that side of things. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like, okay, it's going very good. It's been going good. Now I'm like, something's missing. I'm like, let me try. I think it's the music thing a little bit. I started pondering on the thought. I started recording music. And as soon as I started recording music and I was playing it back in my car, I'm like, I got this feeling that I missed that I hadn't got for a cool minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is hard. I'm like, all right, I like this. I like what I'm saying, you know? And I'm like, and I started recording another one. And I'm like, all right, fuck that. I'm going to start dropping. Because I've always been good at making music. I just sucked at like putting it out and promoting it.
Gotcha.
So my style was always like, I'll film a music video, and I'm talking years back. I'll film a music video and then I'll put it out there for the world one time and I won't promote it ever again. Because I'm like, why am I gonna keep promoting the same video? Even though it's you're supposed to. You know? But, yeah.
I feel the same way too. Like when I drop something, like I feel like, dang, like I'm blowing up my feed with my stuff, but I have to remember, like, that's the reason why y'all following me. You know 100%. What I mean? Like, you don't have to follow. You don't have to, you know, see it if you don't want to. So I also struggle with that too. Just I need to drop it. But when you were taking that break, what were you doing? What were some other things that you were kind of focusing on?
I kind of started tapping into the cannabis industry a little bit. You know, so
You've always been business minded. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, for sure. I just needed something that was like that made a bigger impact than other things I was on. Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like you're still gonna participate in that and then mix that with the music, 100%. Or are you just Gotcha. Okay, and then you were jumping into the management bag a little bit. So
I did that for a while. That was cool and it was fun, but like I said, I feel like something was missing. I wasn't getting that fulfillment doing that as much. And it's a lot of headaches too, you know, because you're dealing with a bunch of different entities and different worlds, different outlooks, like different people.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'd rather just have this control or at least put everything on my hands with the music, the way I drop, the way I PR, the way I put myself out, you know, instead of trying to manage someone else's.
So are we going to see like an album coming out 2025? It's been a lot of singles, but I like singles too. Like I enjoy singles, you know what I mean? Like there's no... I could play singles all the time. I
want to build a little bit more I want to build more motion now. Like I want to get people a little more excited because now people are finally catching on. They're realizing it's not like, oh, he dropped one song and disappeared. Oh, he's been dropping songs. Okay, okay, he's back. So now I feel like I'm barely getting there with people, so I want to do that a little longer, and then from there I got a whole ass plan. So I got stages right now. I'm dropping like mad boom bap, mad like me, and then I'm gonna get a little more artsy with it on the second chapter. So everything's kind of already mapped out. I got the song. I got like a year and a half's worth of songs ready.
Wow.
Yeah. If I'm dropping every 2 weeks, you know. So
sick.
Yeah, I'm just mapping out.
Okay. Are you producing or doing it, like, or do you just working with somebody and you guys are just like dropping fire and storing it?
I got a handful of producers I work with.
Okay.
So shout out my boy Julius Reynolds, aka Fool's Gold. I got Zay Sundo. I got my boy Foes. I got am I missing anybody? I got a good amount of people. Yeah.
Okay, sick. No, I'm super excited for that. And then shows too. Like I saw you at a Rhymes Fest, so that was cool just to like see you perform and stuff like that.
You know what? Shout out Rhymes Fest because that's another like component that made me want to get back into it. When I started, when I performed again, when I walked around and people were like, "Yo, I have the tattoo of this album cover you dropped."
Sick. Okay.
And I was like, and then. There's also a thought process that pops into mind sometimes. I'm like, there's so many people that have On a High Note tattooed on them, and I kind of feel like a dick that I just stopped making music and these people got it tattooed on them. So I was like, you know what? Like, I gotta do shit for these people, you know? Like, so that was another component or aspect that made me want to get back into it.
That's dope. You know, shout out to Rhyme Fest again. LRG brought me down. We actually connected for a second. Like you were like walking with your entourage. You were like, the China show. And you made me feel so cool. I was like, y'all see some Provoked at China show?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know, and it's cool just learning more and digging deep into your journey, like boom bap and hip hop. Well, you've always been into like mainstream hip hop, but like boom bap, like the rhyme sayers, like some girl in high school got you into that.
Yeah.
Talk about that journey and just like discovering like all this whole genre of underground hip hop.
You know, I grew up on like Bone Thugs, like the mainstream at the time when I was young, right? So when I got to high school, I met some girl. I'll even shout her out. Shout out Valerie. She we became cool, and then she put me onto Atmosphere and like Rhyme Sayers and all the Idea, Dino Spectrum, like their little collective before, like all that. So that shit blew my mind, and I was like, what the hell? And then after that, a couple years after that, I met like my homie the Wino, who put me even deeper underground shit, like Project Blowed.
Yeah,
like, you know, and I was just like, these fools are rapping the way I like want to rap. Because sometimes, you know, you gotta like fit into pockets a little more neatly. These fools are just like like just going crazy with it. And I'm just like, yo, like that feels so like good. You're just yapping, you know? So, and I'm a yapper, as you can tell. So I was like, yeah, this is dope. Yeah, so it made me kind of indulge in that hip hop scene for a minute, like Project Blow, the Rhyme Sayers, I even got into some Chicago stuff, Crucial Conflict type of stuff.
Okay.
Like still, what do they call it? Chopping.
Okay, so you came and you just never left, actually. So that's dope, you know.
And the competitive nature of that world too is like, yo, you're an MC, we'll battle it out. Like fools were just super aggressive. Like, what's that documentary called? The Good Life Cafe about Project Blowed. But pretty much these fools, like if you went up there and you were whacked, they'll be like, pass them, Mike, pass them. I like that shit.
Right.
I hate like the climate of like, oh, you did a good job, pat on the back, like, oh, we all got this. Like, to me, it's like, fuck that shit, bro. Like, to me, like, that dulls the art and the craft because it lets, like, a lot of people think they're dope and they're not. And I'm not calling myself the dopest either. I know I got a lot of shit to sharpen up on, but I don't know. I've always loved, like, pressure and, like, in places that there's those pressures or pockets of pressures present. Yeah.
And you described yourself to have like an obsessive personality too. So like once you like want something, like you're gonna go after it and you're gonna get it. Essentially.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. So in what other ways have that obsessive personality just helped you out in life with just other things? I mean, because it could be either good or bad, you know, depending on what you obsess over.
For sure. So I got into boxing like a year and a half ago, or maybe a little longer than that. And I've been like nonstop thinking about it, like learning. Like I go home from like doing drills or sparring, and I'll try to learn more at home. And I'm like, I go back. I'm like, yo, I'm sparring next week. Like I got to do this now. Like so, I've become very competitive in that little pocket right now. Also, as far as like the cons of being obsessive, you know, I remember when I was young and I probably went through a breakup, and all I thought was like, damn, like this girl I fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, but that's before you're able to channel that obsession. Like, because I think obsession is a power, is a superpower, you know, like if you know how to channel it. So when I was.
Essentially, it's focus, right?
Exactly. 100%. So, yeah, sometimes we use that focus in bad ways, you know, or even like I remember being like, I don't want to say girl crazy, but it was like fun crazy. I like to go out and have fun, meet girls. Like there was a pocket of time that I just cared about doing that, you know? So it was just, I don't know, fucking, we go through all types of phases, huh?
In life, definitely, most definitely. And then I see that also too, like you're really into just like channeling yourself, meditation, reading, you know, taking time to do stuff like that. Tell me how that's kind of like shaped your maturity right now for where you're leading.
It showed me how dumb I was like in the past, because it's not that like I was I had, how do I say this? It made me get more in touch with myself and made me understand why I was doing certain things certain ways, and how I could use these certain ways I was doing things at the time with other things, like we're talking about, like channeling the obsession. So it just kind of made me analyze myself and different parts of myself and how I could like apply them to my benefit instead of them being used against me.
Okay, what are some good books that people should tap into? Some books that kind of like shaped and changed your life right now.
I love The Kabbalion. I think that one was like a good introduction. It's spelled Kybalion. It's Hermetic philosophy.
Okay.
So that one's like a cool one for like outlook, perspectives. They have different principles they kind of like base their philosophy on. That one was a cool one. 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem is a good one. There's a lot. Like The Alchemist is one that a lot of people know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I like a lot of weird books too, like occult philosophy stuff. So I'll leave those for myself.
Yeah. Okay, but one thing about you that I love is like you've always been so outspoken and just like I feel like you are someone that just thinks for yourself, like, and I love that. So with everything going on right now in the world, like what are some of your thoughts? Trump, presidency.
You know what? That's one thing
the drones, aliens.
I'm trying to stray away from talking about current affairs just because I've done that so much in the past.
Gotcha.
That I feel like it polarizes a lot of my following.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just play a little smart and kind of like I just understand the people and I understand laws and I understand why everybody wants what they want. Like whether it be a different races, whether it be corporations that I don't fuck with, I understand why they want their angle played out. I understand like every angle of it. So like to me, I have a dog in the fight, I guess you can say, but I just really don't like to put it out there.
Okay, yeah, no, I feel it.
And a lot of people that like. Now people are like, oh, he's refraining from his thoughts. They probably think, oh, he's on the side that we hate. It's not even that, It's just that I don't see it so black and white. I see it like there's middle grounds. There's like, yeah, But what's going on right now as far as like deportation, that's just fucked up. Like that shit, like families getting broken up and shit like that. That one I'll say, like if you like lack compassion for that, like you got like some type of like, how can that not break your heart?
Right.
So that's fucked up, 100%.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel exactly the same. But you don't believe in aliens, or you do? You just asking to sound so much.
I don't really ponder on the thought too much about. Like, there was a time where I was super obsessed with the Anunnaki theory.
Okay.
I read books. I had The Slave Species of the Gods by Michael Tillinger or some shit like that. I forgot, but that was a book I read like 10 years ago. It's interesting. But at the end of the day, I can only speculate. So I don't really have any type of like basis to be like, I go with this theory. So,
gotcha.
But it's interesting as fuck.
Yeah, no, most definitely. So talk about your R&B bag. I didn't know that like R&B was like one of your favorite genres.
Oh, hell
yeah. Who you be listening to?
Dude, I'm a mad hopeless romantic.
Okay, who you be listening to though?
I love Maxwell, Music Soul Child, Life Jennings. Life Jennings actually one of my favorites.
Did you see that new video that he dropped? Or I think remember that video that he did like 15 years ago, and then like he redropped it. I forgot the name of it.
No, not SEX, right?
No, it wasn't that one.
Neverland? No, it wasn't Neverland. Fuck,
I forgot the name of it, but he literally dropped a video 15 years later, and it had all the same people in it.
Fuck, no,
and it was just so dope to see.
Okay, yeah. Look into that. Okay.
Yes, tap in, but R&B. So
yeah, no, dude, if I was able to sing, I'd be singing. Straight up. You feel me? Like, and I know I could learn. I'm sure I could learn if I got classes or got into it. But yeah, man, I love R&B. I think it's so like I said, I'm a hopeless romantic, so I just fantasize.
Okay. Yeah. Are we going to see a little bit of that for like second quarter? Because I know that you're dropping like a lot of boom bap. You said like the first quarter, or I don't know which way, how many, or how you got it separated, but.
I dropped a song, it's called Life Path Number. It's kind of like a lovey-dovey song. But yeah, for sure.
The girls love that. The girls love self-provoked. They love the lovey stuff.
Yeah, so I'll probably make another one of that. You know what's crazy with the romantic stuff or the lovey stuff? My pen flies even quicker than just talking shit, which shows I have like a mad suppressed romantic. Because I'm very, how do I say? A lot of people like consider me cold or very like just to the point, not like expressive in that way. So I feel like I suppress a lot of that in my day-to-day life. That when I write about it, I just write so fast. Like it's like, oh damn, like. I got this in me. All right.
Okay, what is your writing process? Do you just sit there? Do you just need to hear the beat and then like your pen just goes? Or do you need like a topic first? Or how does that
go? If I want to make a specific type of song, then yeah, I'll think about what I want and try to find a beat that follows suit. But usually it's just I'll play mad beats and whatever that beat pulls out of me is what I write down.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, so tell me about that Bizzy Bone story. I mean, because you got like a Bizzy Bone feature at like what age were you? Like 17, 16?
Yeah, 17.
That's pretty crazy.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay, see? Shout out Bizzy.
Man, my favorite rapper of all time. So I had a song where I shout out Bone Thugs. It was at the Terrace in Pasadena, and there was two drunk ladies. They were a little older. They're like, "Oh, you like Bone Thugs? Like Bizzy Bone's my boo, blah blah blah, some shit, right?" Like side thing of his, but and I was like, she's like, "Do you want his number to collab?" Like she brought it up, like all drunk and shit. Yeah, and I'm like, this bullshit. And I was like, "Yeah," I'm like, "Here, take my number." So I gave her my number, and some dumb shit. I would never give out my number like that because I know that most likely it would be bullshit, even though this case it wasn't. So I give her my number, whatever. I'm slanging a sack. I'm like 17 years old. I'm selling like a dime bag or a dub or something at a parking lot. And like my phone rings. And then I pick up the phone. It was a 323 number. I pick up the phone. And then he's like, I'm like, hello. He's like, hello. Like, hello. Like, you know his voice. He has a very unique voice. And then he's like, is this self-provoked? Or I forgot if he's just said self or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I got your number. You want to do a collab? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And he's like, okay, like, this is how much I charge. And I'm like, like, this is before I knew what's up with the music business. Yeah, because ain't no way he's just going to call me to collab like that. But anyways, at the time, I wasn't thinking that. So I was like, oh, fuck, like, I ain't got that. I even forgot how much he asked for. But I just remember telling him, like, hey, like, I'm like, I just got out of high school. I have no money. He's like, how much do you have? You know, I'm not even going to go too much into detail because I feel like it's a little... I don't know his situation at the time for him to like make things want to happen so bad, but pretty much he agreed to accept a very small amount of what he was asking to do it. Then I pulled up on him with my homie Slime at the time. That was his nickname. Shout out Trilogy. And then we just pulled up to a house in Reseda. We had like some Asian engineer right there with like his hat sideways. He was like super like goofy a little bit, but fuck it. And then he recorded us, and I was smoking, and he wasn't smoking weed at the time, so he was smoking tobacco out of an apple. He was smoking, so I found that funny. But so that's how it happened. And then he dropped a piece of paper with lyrics on it. It had like, I think probably like 7 bars or something on it. He dropped a piece of paper, and I remember I like looked around. I was like, and I don't do shit like this, but I like picked it up, and I was like, it looks like it's all scribbled. He doesn't want this. I just put it in my pocket. So I pretty much pocketed this fool's lyric. I still got that shit in my house right now. Like, I'll never lose that. But that's fire. Man, I fuck with Bizzy Bone like 100%. He's my GOAT, favorite rapper of all time. I think he's the dopest, most slept on. I think he's a big reason of me developing spiritually because this motherfucker was like, his solo projects were very all over the place. So he'll drop one project where he's like indulging in the Christian or Abrahamic outlook. Yeah. And then he got into the Islamic outlook. And then he got into even like the occulty stuff, you know? So even like him going through that journey, I feel like, yo, like, is this fool the reason why I'm so deep into these type of topics?
Wow, no, that's deep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so deep.
So I have a lot to thank homie for. Like I said, he's my GOAT.
Shout out to Bizzy. And then one thing that reminds me of Bizzy, like you guys have like very distinct voices. Shout out to your homie XR. Is that how you say XR?
XR, yeah.
XR, okay. Yeah. XR who developed or helped you to develop your voice, 100%. You know?
Yeah, because I used to rap in a very dull tone. Because when you first start rapping, you got to find your voice. Like, and especially if you got nerves coming. I'm a nervous motherfucker. Like, even in this interview, I'm nervous as fuck, you know? So
me
too. I was in the studio and I was rapping with that dull voice. And then I remember him telling me, he's like, hey, bro, like, when you rap, yell, but don't yell. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he's like, do it like, yeah. He started doing like some weird shit. I'm like, so I started trying to use that, you know? So yeah, shout out my boy Xer.
Shout out to Xer. With hip hop and everything going on right now, where do you feel like it's heading? 2025. I mean, we got Kendrick headlining the Super Bowl right now. I feel like it's a good time, especially for California, you know, but
I'm noticing somewhat boom bap is like kind of coming back. Doechii. So I'm noticing a lot, or even Alchemist just dropped a project with Larry June and 2 Chainz.
Yeah, 2 Chainz. Yeah, I saw that.
So that's kind of like, it's interesting. I'm liking it. I really enjoyed the Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle. That was very. I remember when I remember that whole. How it all dropped, how it all rolled out, man. That shit was crazy.
No, that was definitely wild, especially for hip hop. Who, other than that beef, what was like your other favorite hip hop beef of all time?
Well, I could say like Jay-Z and Nas. I was super young, but those songs are crazy. Beef. I don't know if I have another favorite beef or
didn't like how it turned out.
Give me Give me 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Damn, what other beefs were there?
There
Help me out.
was Jay-Z, Nas.
I remember that. I feel like that one didn't go too crazy. Like it wasn't my favorite. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I have any, like, off the top of my head, other beefs that I enjoyed.
Have you ever beefed with somebody? Like,
yeah.
Okay, tell me about that beef.
Oh, it was just.
Was it like a beef or?
It was like rap crew versus rap crew.
Okay.
And it was like we dropped a couple diss songs towards each other. You know, I think I did cool at the time, even though I think I could have done a lot better nowadays, obviously. But we ran into each other and it got settled in person.
Okay, gotcha.
So that was cool.
Okay. I guess now if somebody were to call you out, would you be even interested in trying to like beef back at this stage in your life? Like where you're going with your music? Would you acknowledge or
if it's some straight hip hop shit, 100% I'm down. Okay. If it's some straight hater shit, I'm down too. Like, but I won't do it on the internet. Okay. You know, it'll be like, I'm gonna run into each other. I'm
gonna use my boxing on you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm down. I always love little pockets of chaos within my tranquility, so I think it's needed. So yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
So you've been going crazy with the visuals too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk about that. Are you directing all your videos, and are you working with like a certain videographer with all of them, or what?
With two. Okay. So right now I'm working with my boy Infinal, who just changed his moniker to Off Angles Photos, I think. Yeah, Off Angles Photos, and then my boy Xer under Playmakers. But yeah, most of the time I come up with the concept, the angles and whatever, because I'm very picky about that shit, like super picky. But they understand me, and then now like they throw concepts at me too that I'm like, yo, this is cool. Like, let's intertwine them.
Right. Yeah, no, it's good to see. Like now I am seeing you like all the time on my feed, and it's just nice. Yeah,
good.
And you've been consistent. I think you only missed 1 week of dropping.
No,
like, YouTube. Yeah, you missed. I saw you were like, sorry guys.
No, but I took it back and I still ended up dropping it. Yeah,
you did drop it. Okay,
because my DMs blew up and they're like, bro, just drop it. Like what you don't like, we might like, and that's so true because most of my most popular songs I think are the wackest songs I've ever made. So I was like, you know what? There's logic in there. So I'm hard-headed and stubborn when I make a decision, but I took it back and I dropped it.
In your opinion, what's the wackest song you thought that you ever made?
Damn, if I say it, people are gonna search it up, huh? If they Cyrax. Okay. It was like me trying to prove that I could rap. Like, so I was like doing the most and like I don't know what I was thinking. Like, that's a bad one. There's a lot of bad ones, but they're like, all right, so like Silly Rabbit, it's fun and I appreciate it for what it is.
That's a legendary song, yes.
Like, yeah, people fucked with it heavy, but like I cringe. Like, if I hear that shit, I'm like,
really?
But like, I have a homie who bumps all my old shit because he likes it. Like, he genuinely, he's like, and with people in the room, I'm like, bro, cut that shit off. Like, what are you doing? Like, I have to tell that fool. But yeah.
Okay, what about your favorite song that you dropped that you just like love to this day?
I love Big Brown Eyes. I think that's a slept on one. I like Dogma, which I think is another favorite of mine, but it's slept on as well. I like Lala. That one did pretty good. Trying to think of. I like that. Paradox, a song I dropped on November recently. I like that one a lot because it describes me pretty well, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess obviously like what you've been talking about in your music has changed within like the growth of yourself. At what stage do you feel like you are right now, and what is a lot of the topics that you feel like you want to address and touch on with your new music dropping?
I feel like I found a new development within this like quote unquote maturity where I was very about order for a long time to make things get back into place. But now I feel like I got a little bored with this order, so I'm gonna tap into like the chaotic nature of me a little bit more now. So like from there, that'll create a new order. You get me? So that's what I believe: order, chaos, order, chaos. Without the chaos, you'll never implement a bigger or greater order. So to me, it's like right now I'm like, I figured out a certain order. Now I'm going to get a little more chaotic with it. I'm going to be more expressive with and shameless with my nature. You feel me? Because a lot of people like to pretend I'm a fully good person. I'm fully this. I'm fully that. So like, I'm like, fuck that, bro. I'm bad. I'm good. I'm crazy. I'm calm. I'm all of it. You feel me? So I got a whole pantheon of fucking emotions. So I'm trying to put that out there for myself and also for other people who feel guilty for having different sides, or multifaceted people that like to ignore other sides because they're deemed uncomfortable by other people. You feel me? So to me, it's like, fuck that shit. I've always dimmed my light. I've always like walked in rooms and I'm like, okay, it's this way, so I'm a, you know, but I'm like, fuck that shit now. I'm like, I'm walking to a room talking shit. It's all good.
Hell yeah. No, you are the light. You are the light. Do you feel like you've, within just the maturity of the different things that you've been talking about now, do you feel like you kept a lot of your core fan base, or do you feel like you're getting more of a new fan base, or is it like a mixture?
It's a mixture for sure. I'm getting new ones, and a lot of older ones are Dude, I have a lot of fans who grow with me, who write me long paragraphs like da. You like, yeah. So it's dope. I have a lot of people that grew up with me. Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe your fan base as a whole, though?
Dope. They're just cool as, some chaotic, yet some maturing faster than others, some still tagging, some with families. So it's all over the place, but they're fucking, I don't know, they're just dope. I never met a fan where I'm like I'm ashamed. Like, don't ever name drop me as one of your favorite rappers. Right. You know, like, no, everyone's cool. Everyone's artsy in their own way. Yeah. Some are trouble, some aren't, you know, but trouble, like I said, is chaotic. It's needed. So yeah, no, I love it. I love my people.
Yes, we love you back too. So what advice could you give any independent artist that is taking this journey the way that you have taken it? Is there any pros, cons, any just advice in general?
Try to find yourself through your craft. You feel me? Don't try to replicate because you think a formula is working. I fell into that trap a couple times, or played with that thought. I think creating music or any type of art is a good individuation process. So don't take it for granted. And I feel like you could lose yourself trying to replicate. And then you might pick up on things you never even wanted to pick up just to kind of be in that realm.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with the pill popping shit. I don't fuck with the lean sipping shit. I don't fuck with none of that destructive shit. I don't like that it's glorified. I think it's garbage. I think it's like, I understand why people rap about it because it's their life, but the people who are not doing that shit and rapping about it just because they're trying to fit a certain image, like, I think they're playing a formula. So that, like I said, there's no right or wrong to this, but I kind of look down on them. I'm judgmental as fuck. Everyone says don't judge a book by a cover. I have a line in my song. I'm like, I judge a book until they prove some shit to me. You feel me? Or until the book proves some shit to me. I'm just very opposed to like how people are using influence. It's a power, like, you know, it's a force. Like, if you're influencing masses and you're unaware of what you're actually doing to kids, like, fuck that. They're not unaware. Like, people are aware what they're doing to kids. Sorry. So fuck them. But I love them at the same time because life's a paradox and I'm allowed to feel both ways.
I'm like, wait a second, was that a bar? I was like,
nah, just a fucking elongated thought.
Well, Self-Provoke, I appreciate you for just coming on IndieASF and just telling your journey. Like, the last time I interviewed you, I think it was like 6 years ago, you pulled up on some love. Shout out to IE Radio.
Yeah.
So, you know, ever since then, we've always just been connected. And you've always, even remember, I remember reaching out to you, like trying to start like another segment, like, oh, want to go graffitiing together?
Oh, really?
This was like maybe like a year or so after the IE radio shit. Like, I was trying to do like another segment, like, oh, let's go graffitiing together as I interview. But you were so down. I just never fell through. But like, I just love the journey of all of this and how you're still supporting and keeping it indie as fuck always. So.
Hell yeah. I appreciate y'all.
Shout out you. Shout out LRG for powering the situation. And yeah, I can't wait for 2025 and what that's going to look like for you because you got a long-time supporter from me.
Appreciate you.
You were kind of like traveling around different countries and like collabing with different artists. Are you like are you going to still continue to do that? Or?
I want to, bro. I want to travel again. I want to meet new people, new producers, new artists. So for sure, like, yeah, I think I was all over Europe. I was co-headlining. Shout out to Revs. She's the one that, you know, it was her show. Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, seen, you worked with what is it, Aleman?
Oh yeah.
How do you feel like about like his success right now?
Dope, bro. Super dope. That was popping the fuck off, bro.
Yeah.
He's a superstar out there.
So what about Pesso's rap? Like his hip hop music, have you heard it? Peso Pluma?
No.
Yeah, so he has a song with Aleman that like he's on some like boom bap type. It's like modern boom bap type of thing, you know, rap the past.
This recent or old?
2 years.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, a few years.
I didn't know that Fupeso even rap.
They got a track together. I forgot what it's called, but I'll show you after the.
Okay, yeah, please. That's dope. Okay. Hell yeah.